Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How you doing? Welcome again to Rod's Opinion. Don't matter. Hopefully, y'all having a blessed, beautiful, wonderful day. Hopefully, all is well. Hopefully, all is good in the hood, in your neighborhood, wherever that may be. Wherever that may be. Anyway, let's get into it. Man, I was on what they consider a mini vacation. Well, I consider a mini vacation, I guess. Um, had a good time, really did. But here today because wanted to talk about basically stocks, investing, um, just staying focused. Because while I was on vacation, that stock market investing and stuff, it's usually kind of me and my cousin, one of my actually two of my cousins, something that we talk about on a regular when we're together. We do things a little bit differently, but the end result is pretty much the same. It's just my my approach to it and his approach to it is two different ways, but our end result is pretty much the same. It's just his direction to getting there and my direction to getting there is very different. I respect him a lot because I feel like he has a maybe a hard he can stomach a lot more than I can stomach when it comes to investing. Um, I think he takes a lot more of a risk, which there's nothing wrong with that. What's up, Donald? How you doing, man? God bless you. God bless you. Yeah, my cousin takes a lot more of a risk than I'm comfortable. I can't even say comfortable. I just know that he takes his direction is a little more riskier than I normally would do. But I had to respect him, man, because I mean he hasn't gotten the results that he was looking for, but he has gotten good results. I already got one. I mean, I already got it, Donald. I got the Epstein list. But anyway, man, yeah, how about it? Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they making a big deal out of it. I mean, it is what it is. Um, I think they was a slightly bit deceptive about it, but what you gonna do about it? I didn't even get in too far of it, Donald, because I was just like, that wasn't one of the ones that's on my big playlist. Money is my bigger play, and my investments and stuff like that. That was my bigger thing. Epstein list, well, I mean, like I said before, whoever's on that list, I mean, if they put it out, don't put it out, I can care less one way or the other. I think it's just if you messing around with children, I don't care who you are, which status you're at, you need to go to jail. It probably is. I don't know. Like I said, being on that list don't make you guilty. Touching children do. And I don't care who you are, whether you Trump, whether you Epstein, whether you anybody else. When it comes to putting your hands on children, I got a problem with that. So I don't care who you are at that point. I don't care. Your behind should be in jail. If it's proven that you've been touching kids and doing stuff like that, then you need to go to jail. I don't care who you are. Hey, top to bottom hair and skincare. How you doing? God bless you. God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. If you're on this live, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. But yeah, I had a good vacation. But and talking to my cousin, like I said, me and him talk on a regular when we together. Um, yeah, I don't know, Donald. At some point I'll probably do another video. We want to get into it, but the day ain't that day. Yeah, the day ain't that day. But he his approach is different. But I got even though I've been to my reunions, um, in Philadelphia we have family reunions all the time. I mean, in Ohio we have one in Philly and one in Ohio. 85 years my family has been doing this. Yeah, it did. It went really, really nice. 85 years my family has been having family reunions, and it amazes me that it is still going. Like now in Philadelphia, I'm not exactly sure the number in Philly, but I know it's probably about 60 years in Philadelphia and 85 years in Ohio. My family came from Ohio, and some of them moved to Philadelphia, and they decided to start doing reunions. What's up, Jay? How you doing? God bless you, bro. Welcome in, welcome in. So they decided to start doing reunions in Philadelphia. So they every year we have one in Philly, and then the next month in June, and then the next month we have another one in July in Ohio. So that the Ohio one is what I went to, but I wasn't like unlike most of my family. I honestly wasn't going to Ohio. I went last year, but prior to last year, it was years before I went. Um, but I learned, and but this year for some reason getting back up there, this year getting back to Ohio, um, I started thinking about stuff. And Jay, me and you, we do videos sometimes talking about investing and property and stuff like that. And I thought about it because I forgot. I don't know why I forgot this, but my uncle in Ohio. This is real. This is a true story. Um, my uncle in Ohio. This is really a true story. Sorry, Don. I see what you're writing, but I got to stay on focus on what I'm doing right now. But my uncle in Ohio, he wasn't technically my uncle. Um, he was technically a cousin, but because he was so much older and he was a man of stature, he was very respectable. We always called him uncle. When we was kids, they told us that he was our uncle. But later on, as you get older, you find out when you start doing who's who, you realize that okay, he's not really an uncle, but he was more of a cousin. But he's more of a cousin. So anyway, I forgot that he was heavy in the real estate, like heavy in real estate. And I remember us growing up as kids. Some of this is going to probably be funny to y'all because, and I'm going to relate this to the stock market investing, and this is the reason why I brought this story into this particular live. He was heavy into buying property back then, like heavy, but we didn't realize it because we was all teenagers. Now, when we would go to the reunions when we were kids, you know how adults like to do adult stuff. So who I consider my uncle then, and I still do to this day, he would have a house that he would have that was empty because he owned a lot of property. And when we came up for the reunion, he always put the family in one of the houses. But this particular year, they put all of the teenage boys in a house by themselves. No adult supervision whatsoever. Now, my uncle and my mom and my parents and them were nearby, but they wasn't in that particular house. They were like maybe a city block away or a city block and a half, 2 blocks. I don't know, wasn't that far, but they were nearby, but not right there. And now all of us are probably 16, 17. Now, don't get me wrong, not all of us. I forgot my brother probably was 18 at the time, but you talking about teenage boys, 16, 15, 17, 18, 19, and so we're all in the house together, and it's easily about 10 of us because I have, as y'all can see, I got a very, very big family, and that wasn't even the people that y'all see in that video. If you watch the video where I was walking through the family, there was a lot of people that didn't make it to the reunion at all. But I have a very large family in general. So he would put us in the house, and we was all there. We did stuff we shouldn't have did as teenagers, but in other words, we did enjoy ourselves. But it kind of cut the story a little bit as much as I can. I used to hear my family and them talk about his name was, he was Uncle C. We always called him Uncle CJ. When I hear my family talk about him, and I was like, okay, he owned a lot of houses in Alliance, Ohio. And you probably could find out, go Google it or do some research or whatever. But he owned a lot of property in Alliance, Ohio. And I thought that my family was kind of exaggerating it because they would say, "Oh no, he owned almost like half Ohio, Alliance, Ohio." They say he owned almost like half of the properties in Alliance, Ohio. This is a true story. Now I don't know how accurate that part of it is, but I know he owned a lot of houses. So we would go and enjoy ourselves up there. And later I found out he was the police commissioner also. And it wasn't until recently I started looking back. It's like he accomplished all of that as a black man. Hey Joyce, how you doing? God bless you. God bless you. I'm like, he accomplished all of that as a black man. Now I remind you, this is back in the 70s. He did this before I was old enough to realize what he did. And now in the 80s, I'm a teenager. I was born in the 70s. These are stories that my parents are telling me, and I'm here not telling me personally, but I'm hearing them talk about, and I'm in my teenage years. Back then, he was the police commissioner, and he owned almost half of the town, and property-wise. And I did not think about it like, wow, he really was doing it big back then as a black man. So that's why I tell people sometimes when somebody say, "Oh, because of your skin color, you can't do it," they're out of their mind. And I didn't even think about my uncle because I never really, I didn't equate it until I got up there on the vacation, went up there this year, and I really started talking. We actually had a conversation about it. We actually started having a conversation about it. And this is why I think essentially because of that reason why I'm so adamant about investing in my mind, building a legacy. Now, eventually he passed away. Years back, he passed away, and he has kids, and they, he left them all that he had, basically. So his kids don't have to work or chase down money or try to build a future. All they have to do technically is to take and live off of what their father did prior, while he was alive. And I say that to say this is that a lot of times when we had these conversations, and this is why I always say for anybody, and this has nothing to do with skin color at all, but I'm just saying I brought up the fact that he was skin color because they always trying to tell people that black men can't do it in America if you black, or black people can't do it in America. But here's a man back in the 70s and 80s was doing it big and somehow or another managed to become the police commissioner in that town. And when I say he was an amazing dude, he was an amazing dude. People respected him everywhere. But I go back up and I found out something else about another family members that I had that on the other side that I had that owned a whole lot of land. Did not know that neither. So we talking. The reason why we was up there because we were supposed to go do some shooting too. So he's walking us through all his land and all his wood. They got a river running through their land. They got all this stuff, and I'm like, did not know that. You know what I mean? But he was telling a story of how they obtained that land. And they was buying, and buying. They just kept buying up everything. And his father passed, my cousin's father's gone, but his mom was still alive, but they still have that land. They never sold it. They got a massive amount of land. I'm talking about acres. And my point is, again, when people say black people can't do stuff, and I don't want to point it this way. I'm not trying to make it about race. What I'm trying to say is, if you African American, black, whatever way you want to identify yourself in America, there is nothing stopping you. That's the point that I'm trying to make. We're all in this together. Is the point that I'm trying to make. It's your choice what you want to do with that. But so anyway, and I'm hearing all these stories, and me and my cousin was talking about investing, and me and him are more. I was into real estate, and I still got piece of property, whatever, but I'm more into my bigger thing is the stock market now. Then it was real estate, now the stock market. So I kind of shifted my gears. But it's to say to encourage people like you have to keep going. Like, I always say if you focus on the business and if you focus on the quality of what you're doing, and if you put out the best, you put the best that you can put into that. You don't really have to focus about the money because the money is going to take care of itself at some point. It's going to take care of itself. And I think that with my uncle, he was so busy, he was so driven to do to do what he was doing, that the money was just a byproduct of it, because he was doing very, very well. And the other couple family members too. And I'm talking to my cousin because me touch bases about investing and stuff like that. And him also doing very well, and I'm doing okay. In my mind, I think okay, but not where I really want to be, but I think I'm doing okay. But I say this to say, when I don't care how old you are, I don't care how young you are, I don't care if you're starting a business, I don't care if you, whatever the case may be, and it's anybody has not, this part has nothing to do. I'm just telling that story because of how they tried to paint the picture of African Americans can't do this, we can't do that. And I think it's the most racist thing you can possibly say to African Americans because of your skin color, or any culture of people, because of your skin color. You can't do this, you can't do that. Clearly in America, you can. Yeah. So you're absolutely right. So to say this is that I think a lot of times we're so distracted by all of the other stuff that we don't, and we're so afraid to take risks that we don't be laser focused on the reward. And I think that's where we miss it a lot of times. We're so busy worrying about, I'm scared to do this, I'm scared to do that, I'm afraid this is gonna happen, I'm afraid that gonna happen. And in my mind, if you have a relationship with God, and I'm gonna equate this into that too, you gotta trust him. If he give you something to do, he wants you to do it, and he puts something in your heart to do, you gotta trust him that he's gonna see you through it too. But then I go and I'm talking to him, and we just, yeah, it does. It paralyzes you. If you let it, it will paralyze you, and it will stop you from getting the very thing that you probably was here to do. But I equate that because I invest in the stock market heavy. Like, some people have fear. Here's how heavy I am. If the stock market crash, it's going to hurt me. Like, when you see them stock market go down, like when it does, I lose thousands of dollars in a day, like wiped out of my account, and I have to wait it out in hopes that money won't come back. That's how it goes. But I've done it and seen it so much that I've learned, because of that reason, I'm able to stomach it where it does not bother me, because now I had changed my mindset and said, those are the moments where I'm going to buy more. And y'all have heard me on videos say, I had some fun money that I was planning on doing something else. Stock market went down when it did about back, and I just started spending more money. Right. And here's the thing. And Joyce, I get your point. And I'm a person that I believe in taking risks, but I also think you have to be a bit cautious on the risk that you're taking. Now, I didn't start out and say I'm going to dump all my money in the stock market. No, I didn't do that. I slow walked. I slow walked it very slow. And to the point where but I also seen times that if I would have went a little bit faster, a little harder, I would have did a whole lot better. I don't even complain about it. That don't even bother me. I stick to what I was doing, and I'm seeing the end results of, not the end, because there is no end to this. Let's just continue to keep going. But I'm seeing a positive of what I've been doing over the years. And I'm thankful and I'm grateful to God that I stayed laser focused and investing. And that's why I tell people, I don't care if you're starting a business. I don't care if you're getting into real estate. I don't care if it's a stock market. I don't care if it's developing product to maybe sell, or whatever case may be, manufacturing, whatever idea that you have or whatever it is you want to do. Just do a full steam. Don't half behind what you're doing. And Joyce, you're absolutely right. That's exactly what I did. I measured it. And I remember, it's funny because we was also talking about it, and he said, well, when you started investing, how much money did you start with? I said, I had $200. And that's the truth. I had $200 is where I started at, probably about when I was doing it where you was actually able to do like Robinhood and stuff like that. I had $200, and I went and took that $200, dumped it in the Robinhood, and I started working it ever since. And then I started accumulating more money over there, and then I used Webull, and then they end up splitting it off and making Webull and then Webull Pay, and then I started using the Cash App because I don't like. My mindset is I like diversification to the extreme. That's where I'm at. I want my hand in everything, so I invest in a lot of different stuff. I'm not one-sided. Now my cousin, on the other hand, he invested in one company. He was laser focused on one company, and see, there you go. And I don't look at Dell Computers. My cousin, he invested in this one company. And he was told us about it. He was putting us on game, and unfortunately, what's up out the pit? How you doing, brother? God bless you. God bless you. My cousin was focused on one company. I think it was called MetaMoon. He'd been in this company he got a lot of money there. Like what I consider to be a lot of money. He's up probably about 40% above what he originally paid for it. But the one time I was talking to him, he was in the red horribly. He was like, man, he said there was moments he had to question his life, but he was doing. But he stuck to the game. He stayed the course. And now he's on the flip side of it, and he's probably up 40% more above what he is. And he's making good money. Like right now, it looks great. Anything can happen, we know, but right now it looks great. Yeah, he all right though. He came in, but once he realized that we was the conversation with someone, I said I'll probably get into it later, but this video wasn't about that. But yeah, you're right. He went into timeout before. But you know how Donald is. Donald stay true to his game. But yeah, so I went and but if you guys on this live, please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. But I'm saying that because I was so impressed with the stuff that I was hearing about the second story. The first story about my uncle I knew about, but the second one was like, wow, you guys got all this land and y'all doing great things. And it just kind of re-energized me to keep staying focused on what I was doing. Sometimes, not that I've had times where I was questioning what I was doing. Not recently, but this was like a few years back. Like I've literally had to question what I was doing. Like, bro, what are you doing? You know, this is not looking good right now. But I stayed the course and it's looking great right now. And that's why I always tell people that, don't go invest your life savings. Don't go invest into something, as it relates to the stock market. I'm just going to use the stock market right at this point. Don't go invest into the stock market and grab a bunch of money. And I had this conversation a lot. Oh man, I'm gonna go get this bunch of money and I'm gonna go. No. That is probably the worst thing you can do because there are so many moving parts that you're gonna have to learn before you even get to that point. That's why I always tell people the way I invest, I call it broke man investing. And I don't, I'm not a financial advisor, but when someone asks me my question, I want my opinion on what I'm doing and how I'm not doing it, I tell them the same way. Start small, get a handful, soda money. I call it soda money. But just money that it don't apply to your electric bill, gas bill, your family, nothing that's going to affect anything in your life. Yeah, how y'all doing, everybody? I'm glad to see everybody in here that affecting anything in your life. Just start small and stay the course and pace yourself out. And when I say the reward will come if you're doing it smart and you're really paying attention, the reward going to come. It's going to come. Nothing that you put that much time and effort into you're not going to get results. That you're not going to get results. Even if it's something negative. If you put your energy into being a criminal, you're going to be a criminal. Because that's what you put your effort and energy to. If you put your effort and your energy into being a real estate investor, you're going to be one. if you put the energy and effort into it. And I always say, if I decide I want to have oranges and I go find some good land, I start planting orange seeds, and I keep maintaining that, eventually I'm going to end up with oranges. But here's the crazy part that no one pays attention. You're going to end up with more than you can handle yourself. That's real true. Now, here's my point today. Let's take top to bottom hair and skincare, right? Because we all know who they are, and we kind of got an idea of their story. There is going to be a point, and I'm stating this, there is going to be a point where it's going to be too much for them to handle, just them two alone. They're going to look at it because it's never, no matter what you do in life, it's not so much intended for it to be just about you. What's really, really happening, and this is where I look at it from a spiritual perspective. What's really, really happening behind the scenes that you don't see with your natural eyes is the trusting you. And this is just how I see it. And I'm not saying anybody to agree with me, but this is where I see it. I feel like God is, let's say you, and I'm using him as an example, and he says, I want to bless you. I want to bless you, but I got to be able to trust you to make sure that you're ready and able to handle when it becomes overwhelming. Because in anything that you put your life into, effort and time and effort, it's always going to end up with more than you can hold yourself. The Bible puts it this way: give and it shall be given, with great measure, shaken together, pressed down, shaken together, shall men give into your bosom. And eventually it's going to be running over. Like it says, I'm not saying it exactly how it says, shake down, and then running over. Y'all know what I'm talking about. For those that may be reading the Bible. But if you stop for a second and you start thinking about if you dumping something in a jar, right? Let's say you're dumping coins into a jar, but you want to make more room in that coin. So let's say it looks like it's full, but you didn't take that jar and you didn't shake it together yet. So that jar is full with coins and you start shaking that jar together like this, right? The reason why God starts shaking you up, because he's trying to make more room to stuff you with everything before it starts running over. It's the same thing as if you pressing down on something. Let's say it's dollar bills and you need to make more room. You start pressing down on the dollars in that jar to make more room for more dollars, more dollars. So if you look at the scripture and you read it, look at it as the way it's actually said, before it starts to filter out of you and affect everybody else, God has to make sure that it's totally filled you up first. When it fills you up first, now you've prepared yourself and you're capable of handling the thing that God blessed you with. Because here's the thing, God ain't gonna bless you if you ain't responsible. Because if you don't handle your business right, he ain't gonna bless you. Because now let's say you got to hire somebody, right? Now you got to hire somebody. If your business fails, their livelihood changes, because their livelihood is contingent on how well you run your business. So that's why when people start telling me about rich people and billionaires, they there for a reason, because they're paying their employees. Now, if they don't do the right thing, that's going to go crazy. But that's why I tell people, God don't bless somebody just because you're a child of God. He said, I reign on the just as well as the unjust. Meaning, if you even just apply the biblical principle, you're going to get the benefit even if you don't have a relationship with God. Why? Because you're capable of handling it better than people that confess their relationship with God. And I will argue that one with anybody. Because why would God put somebody in control of an industry if they don't pay their bills, and some of his children may be working for that and they're not getting their paychecks? But you think you're supposed to get it just because you're a child of God. Good luck with that one. And that's my thing. That's why he said, he that is faithful over a few things shall be made ruler over much. He didn't say those that are children of mine, if they faithful. No, he that is faithful. And that is a principle that applies to anyone that's willing to put the time and effort into it. So when I used to go to church and I hear people, oh, God gonna bless me, I just wait on God. You keep waiting. If you ain't getting up doing something, you keep waiting on God. I ain't playing that game because I know better. I'm not gonna give a person, lazy person, responsibility, and see, if I gave you a small responsibility, I don't even have to put God in that equation. I can put myself. If I give somebody something very simple, right, to do, and they never do the very simple, small thing, I'm not going to keep giving them that responsibility. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move them out of the way, and I'm going to go find somebody that is willing and capable and able and putting the time and effort into it. I don't care if I only like the person. Why? I don't even care if I don't, because I know I can rely on that, count on. So if you think because you have a relationship with God that God just going to do all of this stuff that you keep thinking in your head you're going to do, not going to happen. You'll be in your grave and you'll never see it. And that's the truth. He will take that talent from you and give it to somebody that's willing to put that time and effort into it. Faith, you're right, top to bottom, hair and skincare. Faith without works is dead. Yep, exactly. Kind of like Saul and David. And here's the thing about it is that, but here's the thing I loved about David. And since Out the Pit brought up, David loved God so much that he said, even though I can't build it, I'm still going to help finance it. He still was willing to finance it. Because if you really look at the story, David was like, he said, God, I love you so much. I know what you want to do. I can't do it, but I'm going to help finance it. I'm going to try to put everything, help make sure that it gets done. That's how much, that's why God said David had such an awesome relationship with God. Because of that reason. He was still like, I'm still going, nope. I mean, I'm making fun, like putting the humor into it, but you look at the story, he still was like, nope, I might not be able to build it. But if you look at the legacy that they left and how much drive and ambition that these people had, and that's why I looked at my uncle, because I said, wow, he left this world, but he left his kids okay. Now, what they do with it is what they do with it. But he did his part by leaving a legacy, leaving an inheritance. And when I say he was a great man, and I equate that to real estate, I equate that to stock market investing, I equate that to having your own business, I equate it to all of that, because all of those things are factors. And one thing I can say about my uncle is that he was well driven. I did not watch the process, I just seen the results. But not me as a man now know what it takes to get to that. That don't happen overnight. But I guarantee he never stopped, he never gave up, he never quit. And here was a relative of mine that owned almost half the town that they lived in. And he was a black man. For those that don't think black people can do it, he was a black man. And he had a lot of houses. Now, here's the thing. When we went up there to stay, and I said he would put us in a house by ourselves, a lot of times it wasn't the same house. It was a house that was empty at the time because he either evicted somebody or something like that. So whatever house he had that was empty, then we would stay in that house. And there were times it wasn't always the same house. So I knew he had more property. I'm like, okay, whose house is this? Oh, this is another one he has? This is another one he has? I've stayed in 5 or 6 different houses that he owned. Just the years that we would go up as a kid. So I know there was some truth to the story. So when I tell people don't, this country, regardless of how y'all feel about it, this country's a great country. And Man Do Magic, bro, sorry I didn't get a chance to acknowledge you, but God bless you, bro. 47, welcome in. I mean, I was trying to stay on the subject of what I was talking about, but yeah, and this is it. And this is why I say stay focused. And this is, like I said, it's not really about skin color, it's just that I have to say it that way because a lot of times people, they keep trying to tell, and I see these white liberals out there, and they're always trying to tell black people what they can't do and what we need from this and what we need from that. We don't need none of that. What we need, and I always say it again, is the government to get out of the way. Get out of the way. Stop trying to control everybody's life. Get out of the way. And for black people, we need to push them out of our way. We need to have the mentality to know we want bare minimum go. We don't need y'all help. We need y'all out of the way because y'all been the problem the whole time. We didn't realize it then, but we realize it now that y'all been the problem. And we need to get, and that's it. That's why we have it for the most part in those type of cities and stuff where the vast majority of us are. We need them out the way because they are the hindrance. Then at that point we will get that portion that we say we want so bad. That's how we would get it. Once we get them out the way, it'll open up. And I realized that a long time ago. I was like, no, I mean, I'm not skin color focused, and it's not about my skin color. It's just that I'm trying to make a point that when they try to put that on you, you're American. This is your country. Just like anybody else that was born and raised in this country, you are American. And that's my point that I'm trying to make, is that it has nothing to do with your skin color. No one has ever tried to stop me except for, well, yeah, they have, but usually, unfortunately, it was kind of the same people that supposedly looked like me. That was usually where I ran into. But it wasn't everybody. It was just a small group of people. But at the end of the day, that's where you got to put the pedal to the metal, take your idea and run with it, and don't let nobody stop you. Even when it looks bleak, when it looks like it's not working, because I've had moments where I was just investing wise, and I was just like, man, I had to reconsider what I'm doing. But then I had to realize that nothing comes easy. You got to stay focused on this, and you got to stay, and you got to be in it to win it. It's the same thing with some of us that have, like, on it, like Jay, who got his YouTube channel, Top to Bottom also had a YouTube channel. Out the Pit has his YouTube channel. And believe me when I tell you, I've been doing this for a little while yet now. Yeah, they cracked me up with that stuff. My thing is this, and now that I kind of got out of what I said, Out the Pit, here's my point to that. If he said that we're in danger of being deported, right? So here's the thing, and I'm gonna use what Out the Pit said as an example. If I felt as though I was in danger of being deported, and I felt as though all of these things attributes made me, what I'm going to tell my people to do is y'all need to go get yourself some stuff. You know, these things right here. This is why I keep talking that. I said, y'all really don't believe that. Because if I knew that there was a government tyranny, what that would be, if they were trying to take the people that are citizens of America out of here. Now, are they going to make some mistakes with doing what they're doing? Yeah, they are. I know they are. They're going to make sure they're going to accidentally try to deport somebody or make a mistake or identity, whatever it is going to happen. That happens. So what the media is going to probably do in the deportation part of it, they're going to they're going to cherry pick little stories. And that's the only stuff they're going to talk about is the one or two people here and there that, what I expect to happen, get deported or possibly deported or detained or whatever. That's the pictures they're going to keep trying to paint. They're never going to talk about the hundreds of thousands that should have been deported, got deported, and there was no issue. They're only going to try to cherry pick little story. So to idiotic Ricky Smiley, if you felt as though the government was going to come and try to deport, first of all, where they going to send you at? That's the stupid part. Where you're not from no other country but here. So what they going to do? Deport you right back here? You act like you from another country. They only deporting people that came over here illegally. So if I'm American and I'm born and raised in America, where you going to deport me to? I have no other citizenship but America. So you going to call up a country and say, listen, we want to deport one of our citizens to your country? Are you willing to take them? This is how idiot. And here's the thing. A lot of idiotic people going to believe that dumb stuff. This is how dumb that sounds. I'm a citizen, you idiot. He's a citizen. Oh, they're going to deport us. And my thing is, you really, really felt that way, why you not arming up? Why you not telling the people to form a militia, taking advantage of the Second Amendment, form a militia, and make sure that if they come to try to take care of you or try to deport you, you got a team and you got an army to fight them back. They not saying that, are they? All they saying is, this is where they paid actors. I keep telling y'all, Ricky Smiley, D.L. Hughley, all the ones that talk that, they're all paid actors. They really don't believe that themselves. All of those Hollywood people that said that they was going to leave America if Trump was to win, where they at? Why they all still here? Exactly. My thing is this, is that they don't get it. But if you're stupid enough to believe what they say out their mouth, and every time somebody brings that bull crap to me, that story to me, I'll be like, okay, What you doing to protect? I don't even try to correct them. I'm like, what you doing to protect yourself just in case it happens? I let them believe it. If you believe that, show me where you protect you, where are you preparing yourself to make sure that if they come knocking on your door, it's like, oh, you're not taking me nowhere. How you gonna stop them if they do? That's what I want to know. How you gonna stop them? Because if I was one of them, if they was coming to my house and they was trying to deport me, I got a chance to defend myself and my family. What y'all gonna do? You see my point? You're right. And my thing is this: Africa don't want us. Do you really think Africa wants 41 million people? Africa gonna be like, no, 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 no. Y'all came and got them. Y'all paid for them. Y'all keep them. No, no returns. We're not there. No returns. You pay. You are. They stay there. No returns. And my thing is this: if Africa really missed us, why they never came to get us? If we meant that much to Africa, why didn't they fight to get us back? And then this is my point is, I don't care how anybody feels about that part. If Africa, knowing what happened, knowing that what happened, why Africa never fought to get the people back? If they mattered that much to Africa. Yeah. Real talk. And here's the thing. I'm not trying to go. Somebody else might be okay with it. I am not trying to go. You can go to Africa, whatever it is going on over there, to those. Have fun. I'm staying right here in America. I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to get all that my country has to offer. I don't listen. The story's horrible. But I ain't trying to go back to Africa. I ain't trying to go nowhere near Africa. I'm good right here. You know what I mean? They can say what they want to say. I ain't trying to go back to Africa. I'm good. Talk all that stupid stuff y'all want to talk. Go ahead, pack up, go wherever y'all going to do. I'll stay right here in the cab. I'll stay right here in America, and I'll be hanging out with the rednecks. I don't care. They might even kill me. They might say, "Oh, you're a little out of place there, ain't you, boy?" I ain't going nowhere. Oh wow, yeah, I'm good. I ain't going to, and I ain't got no beef with Africa. I really don't. It's not even that. I know we joking around a little bit and stuff like that, but I ain't got no beef with Africa. I'm not trying to go. Like, I'm good right here in my country. That's it. People be asking me like, yo, you should go. I don't even want to go to another country to visit. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I am not even trying to go. Say what y'all want to say. I ain't getting in no planes going nowhere. I ain't going on no Carnival cruise lines. I ain't going on no ships. None of that. If I can't drive there, you ain't gonna see me. That's real talk. If I can't drive there in my vehicle, you are not gonna see me. Ronnie don't fly. I don't fly. I flew one time, ain't doing it again. Yeah. Now I ain't gonna lie to you. The only reason I want to go to Africa is to hunt, but I ain't gonna never go. So that ain't gonna happen. I would love to go to Africa to hunt, but it's too many things in Africa that be hunting you, so it ain't that serious. Yeah, he did. Out the pit. I mean, y'all already know what happened eventually to me, but for the most part, I got to catch most of the show, man. It was an awesome show. You're right, Jay. It was. Yeah, well, it was a real great show, man. But you know, yeah, I had it. But man, yo, on the other note, I had a good time on my vacation, y'all. I really did. I mean, I had a good time, man. And Jay, you're gonna start disrespecting my fishing skills, bro. Yeah, I would have put him his live was off the hook. But Jay, you're gonna start disrespecting my fishing skills, bro. Yo, man, we got there in Ohio. We got there the day before, and they was like, because we had my cousin had planned for us to go fishing the next day, and we get there, man. My cousin, I mean, he fishes a lot up there, so he know the waters and he knows what to fish with. So he's like, well, you know, he came out there with his bait, whatever stuff like that, and I didn't have. That was a good thing. I didn't have to figure out what to use because he had already brought the bait and stuff, and they fish with minnows, and he had some maggots or whatever that was. Yeah, for the most part, Joyce, we do get along. Um, for the most part, I have a really big family, but we get anyway, we get there. I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about the vacation before I get off this live. So we get there and then we get out there to go fishing and everything. And we pull up there, he's telling us what the fish with whatever case may be. And of course, I fish how I fish. I'm listening to what he said. I say, okay, I know what he's doing. Everybody was out there fishing. See, he's still trolling. So we go. After he got there, he started. Now he was willing in bluegill like crazy. Like there was bluegill in there. I forget whatever else he said, but he caught a. They was catching him and my other cousin them, or the ones that caught fish, was catching bluegill. So me, going back to how I fish, I go. I wonder what's out there because they was only throwing the lines probably about 20 yards out, 20 feet out, and I take mine. I put a little heavier weight because I wanted to try to get it out there far. Put a mano on there because that's what we had to fish with. Put it on my hook and I toss it way out there and I waited to see what I was like, I just want to see. But he told me that they have like channel catfish and he said they had pike out there. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me see if I can catch something out there because I personally, y'all know I fish. I throw everything. For the most part, I throw stuff back. So I just wanted to fight. That's what I want. I wanted to get something to get, fish fight. I wanted catch something good so I could fight. So I cast it out, got something on my line and wheeling it in. This is the part y'all didn't see. I don't know what it was because I didn't get a chance to get it on land, but it got off my hook right before I could get it close enough to actually y'all it got off before I could get it on land. Of course, I dropped the fishing rod like, oh. So I go back round two, do the same thing, cash it back out. And that's when y'all see me pulling in the big boy. I mean, of course, there's catfish way bigger than that, but that was a good sized catfish. I pulled him in. Now, I know if y'all seen the video, y'all seen the guy who was actually lifting it out of the water, right? No, I didn't. That's funny because it probably sounded like I really did. But what happened was that fish wasn't going nowhere because the line was wrapped around the fish. That's why he was swimming kind of weird. It wasn't just in his mouth. The fish tangled itself, wrapped itself around in the line. But the guy that was reached down into the water to pull the fish out of the water when I was holding him, right, outside the video, whatever. Of course, y'all know what I do. I take the hook, fish out, and I'm going to throw him back in the water. That's not what happened. I forgot who I was around. He grabbed that fish. My cousin was like, man, I want that. You know, my other cousin wanted the fish. He wanted to keep the fish, and he wanted to yeah, they do. So my other cousin, the one who pulled him out the water, after my cousin cut the video off and stuff like that, he goes. My other cousin wanted the fish. Now the guy that pulled him out the water, he goes over to the bench. He went to his truck first, got his fillet knife. He filleted that sucker right there. Cut him up, filleted him up, skinned it, took the skin off of him, packed it up, and then he already had Ziploc bags and everything. Packed him up in there, Ziploc that sucker into a bag. That fish didn't make it back to the water, y'all. He's food right now. My other cousin took him home. We got him, put him on ice till we got home, put him in the freezer. That fish got filleted right there. Like, when I say he got filleted right there, the only thing is in that water is his head and what was left of him. My other cousin filleted that sucker right on the spot. Like, packed him in the Ziploc bag. Well, we didn't stay there very long after I caught that fish. Went around the corner, got some ice, put him on some ice. Eventually, he made it to the freezer and he got frozen. But my other cousin took him home. He lives in Philly too. He took him home, and because he wanted it. The homeboy. When I say he did not waste no time, he fillets the homeboy. When I say fillet, he took everything out of that fish. He skinned it off, no bone, got rid of the skin, and he did it quick. I was like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing now, right? But I had a good time, man, when we were fishing. I mean, we did other stuff and fishing and stuff. We were supposed to go on my other cousin's land. That's why he was showing us the land. We was actually supposed to go on his land and start shooting. We didn't make it to that point, but because I did take my stuff with me, some of it anyway. But we were supposed to go in the back of his house and start doing some shooting. That's exactly how he was. When I say he did not waste no time, bro, he did not waste no time. We were supposed to go to my cousin's house and do some shooting in the back of his house, the one that has all that land and stuff. But we never made it to that point because I like to fish. My other cousin, they do other stuff and stuff like that. Now they drink, they want to party, they want to do stuff. I don't drink and stuff like that. So once I got to do what I wanted to do, I was cool. I was like, bro, I'm on cloud nine right now. So whatever y'all want to do, we can do. But they wanted to do a couple of things. We went and got eaten. We drove down to Cleveland, Ohio. We was in Alliance. We was in Canton. Where we were staying at is Canton because my other cousin lives there. And then we drove down to Cleveland, Ohio. My other cousin took us down there. We got some food and stuff, a couple of food restaurants in there. I think one of them was called Mabel's. They had that brisket was real good. But we had a good time. I had a good time just being around my family. We don't always get a chance to be around each other. But my family is pretty big. And a lot of people didn't come up from Philly, but there was a good piece that did. Yeah, it was. Like, we had a ball. Well, I mean, and it's funny because, like, out the pit called me OG, but the two of them, like, the one that took the fish out the water, they're older than I am. And, man, they was clowning each other the whole time we was there. They were just clowning each other. Oh, wow. They bring I don't. It's funny. I didn't see. We drove through a lot of different places. I would have loved to went to like where they growing the apples at, but they got a lot of corn. They like Pennsylvania. They got a lot of cornfields out there. I mean, we had a whole lot of fun. There's other stuff that I'm not even like. There was a part of Ohio that I didn't know existed. Let me just put it like this: their nightlife is weird. I'll leave it there. Their nightlife is weird. But I had a good time. I had fun. We went and ate a couple of places. I didn't get a chance to taste food, but the food was good. I think it was Mabel's, I think it was called. In the Cleveland, Ohio, went there, I got some brisket. It was really good. They made it very, very well. It was very tender. And all I kept thinking about while I'm sitting at Mabel's was like, I hope this one in one of them restaurants that Jay be having on his lives. Yes. Oh, speaking of Amish country, speaking of that, they had a festival not too far from where we was at, right? And they were making Amish donuts. Now, I'm a donut fan. I love donuts. So if I go somewhere and I see somebody make donuts differently or something I never had, I'm gonna get a donut. But they made these donuts that was like this big. And then they had another truck that was making like funnel cake. Now, I like funnel cake and I like donuts. My cousin likes funnel cake. And and then my other cousin, we was all like, so we walked past, we looked at the donuts like, man, them donuts look good. And then we walked down to the other side and was getting ready to get some funnel cake. And I said, let me ask you a question. I said, we all ate funnel cake and we could pretty much get funnel cake just about anywhere. When is the next time you ever gonna get some giant Amish donuts? Why are we in this line? So we all ran back to the donuts and got a half a dozen of them, and they was nice and warm. Oh my goodness. I was out there collecting diabetes by the second. That donut was delicious. Pretty much, I'm trying to lose some weight myself, but I wasn't worrying about that while I was there. But yeah, that donut was, man, that donut was really, really good. It was nice and warm. It was hot. When I say that donut was hot, well, the donut was so big. The first one, me and my cousin, we the donut things. We split it in half. He grabbed the other half, and we just went to work on it. They was like, oh, we'll wait till we get. I'm not waiting to get home to eat no donut. It ain't gonna be warm no more. What you supposed to eat that in the moment? I tore that donut up. Doing right. Like, I'm working on my fatness. I mean, I'm not fat, but I'm working on. I'm trying to get some down. Trying to get back down to 200. I'm getting there. I'm close. No, I'm not. I got ways to go. But yeah, I had a real good time, man. But it's good to be back home. Good to be back home, whatever. It's still good to be back home. I enjoyed myself. I really did. I had a whole lot of fun. It was a blessing. It really was. I had a good time and I appreciate it. But also good to be back. See you guys. Appreciate y'all's support. I really do. I seen y'all on, the videos I was putting out. See you guys commenting like always, man. I was trying to get on y'all lives and stuff like that. Jay stuff live. I was driving while Jay was on his live. So, but oh man, that's good exercise though. A pool is very good exercise. If you're gonna lose some weight and get in shape, that's it. Because water, you get resistance in water no matter what you're doing. So I think swimming in the pools is very good exercise. Yeah, man, it was cool, man. We had a good time. We had a real good time, man. The one place we went to, a fight broke out. Like, my family does like a hall thing after the fact. Like, after the reunion is over with in the park and stuff, they all get together and they rent out a hall and they have like a night function. Unfortunately, the night function turned into two women outside squabbling. Next thing I know is boobs and butt hanging out. So that didn't go so well. But other than that, it didn't spoil the night. It ended real quick. It was over it real fast. But that was about the worst that happened. That there was a fight. And my cousin was like, man, you should have recorded that. I was like, nah, I'm not endorsing that type of behavior. It's all right. It's funny to watch, but I'm not endorsing that type of behavior. I said, there's enough video out there for everybody. I'm not participating in that part. I didn't whip my phone out. I didn't try to record none of that stuff. I tried to bring it up, but I was actually going to try to bring it up, but the security people came already there. So I just kind of like got out the way and let them do their job because I saw it before security saw it. And by the time I can start reacting to it, security guards were like, no, we got it. And I was like, all right, let me get out the way. They ready for that stuff. I wasn't here for that reason anyway. Trying to break up no fight. But yeah, they was squabbling in the parking lot. It wasn't inside the facility. It was actually in the parking lot. So I don't know. They might not even have nothing to do with the event that was going, because all the people that was there wasn't my family members. It was probably my family was supposed to be there, but a lot of people that showed up wasn't family members. It was just people, I don't know. I just wish we would have kept it. Usually we have it private, but the place that we usually have it at, they didn't have it there. They had it somewhere else. And it turned into a public event that I did not, it turned into a public event that invited an element that's not my family. So most of my family probably knew that and they didn't even come. So probably about 15% of the 150 people there was probably family members. We were all around each other in the event. But the rest of that stuff that was going on had nothing to do with my family. It was like, oh, okay. So of course I'm talking about people in my head. I'm making fun of people in my head. And then sometimes me and my cousin talk about it. But yeah, we were making fun of people. I'm sorry. That's what we do. I'm clowning them in my head and I'm clowning them with my cousin. But other than that, I had a real good time. Like just being around my family, and we do this once in a while. I mean, every year, but I don't always get a chance to go, but I made it a point to make it up there last year, and I made it a point to go this year. And then we have them in Philly too. Philly is probably about 55, 60 years. I don't know the exact number, but we've been doing this for years. And it amazes me. The only reason why I brought it up because I think it amazes me that we actually stuck to it that many years. We was even clowning the shirts that, all right, that video y'all seen me, I'm getting ready to get off in a little bit, but that video y'all seen me when I was videotaping the shirts. The reason why it was a little bit of humor to that is because we was making fun of the shirt because we all felt as though that 85 should have been on the front of the shirt, not on the back of the shirt. So we was making fun of it like, wait a minute. So we go to because when we at the park, they take group pictures. So we go and take a group picture. Everybody gonna be standing there with a purple shirt, but they go like, why y'all got purple shirts on? And the emblem is all in the back of it. All the information is on the back. So we gonna all have to turn around and take a picture for them. Like, so that's why when y'all see me asking, turn around, let me see what your back of your shirt say. We were trying to make fun of my cousin that had the shirts done because we was like, it should have been because we all put the shirt on wrong. When we was getting dressed, I had it on with the emblem in the front, and I'm like, why I feel a tag? And I go like this. I'm like, and then I put the shirt, take it off, put it on the right way. My cousin walks past me. He got the emblem in the front. So now I'm sitting there thinking I got a defective shirt because he got his on the front. He kind of glanced at me and went the other and kept going. Next thing I know, he comes back. His shirt is now, his emblem is now in the back. And then my other cousin comes out. He got his in the front. And he's like, why y'all got y'all's in the back? He's like, well, the tag is in the back. So he was like, oh. So he goes and changes his shirt and put it back in the back. So that's what was happening with the shirt. All of us was like, so I was like, man, why you ain't put this thing in the front? I said, when we go to take a group picture, ain't nobody don't want to know. So we was just like, so we was clowning the shirt situation. The shirts were nice. We was happy with them, but we just all felt as though they shouldn't have been in the front of the shirt. But it is what it is. When I say we was in like, all right, okay. But then my cousin, the one that, the dude with the deep voice that was sitting down, he was like, nah, man, we was in the car. He flipped it back to the front. He was like, I'm being defiant. I'm wearing mine the way I want to wear mine. Might go tell me I want it in the front. So he ended up putting his back in the front anyway. But yeah, man, I had a good time, man. I really did. But of course, I was supposed to get into the stock market, but I really didn't get there. But that's okay. That's tomorrow's video. But it ain't much going on. It ain't much going on with the stock market anyway. But I was just trying to relate investing in the stock market to what my uncle and them was doing in Ohio, as far as him buying property and him growing in business and growing in birth, owning almost half the town that he lived in property and stuff like that. So that was why I brought the subject in today, and then kind of elaborated and quit it to me in my vacation. And I had a good time. And it was a blessing. I had that was a great days. And we talked about on the way home, like how much fun we all had and how much we was glad to be around each other. And nobody got hurt. No family members got hurt. Nobody got hurt while I was making this video. But with that said, like I said, I appreciate y'all. I'm getting ready to get up out of here. And like I always say, if you don't have a relationship with God, that matters more than anything. And believe me when I tell you, please get God in your life. And believe me, there's nothing in this world that can fulfill you like God does. And I am living proof of that. I'm so thankful to God of the life that I have, the peace that I carry. I'm in awe about it every single day, how good God is to me. And I would not change this for anything. I love it. I really do. Appreciate y'all spending y'all time with me. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Appreciate y'all just having y'all support. And I appreciate it. And I'm extremely thankful and I'm extremely grateful for all that y'all do. It means a lot to me. I mean, I appreciate it very, very much. I don't take anything. The people that support my channel, support this journey, I don't take none of it lightly. That's why I try to support y'all channels. I try to shout you out, like Out the Pit, Joyce, A World Away From Here, Jay, Bone Crusher, top to bottom hair and skincare. Every last one of y'all, man, I really do. And I'm hoping that we all grow together and continue on this journey, man. And our family, as it relates to YouTube and getting, communicating back and forth, that we continue to grow individually. And that we all continue to grow individually, man. I appreciate it very, very much. And I hope that God is having amazing. I hope your relationship with God is good. And I hope y'all have an amazing time. And please, 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 please check out Jay. Jay, I think you have a live coming up later on today, if I'm not mistaken. What's up, Trish, for real? How you doing? God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. I think, Jay, you have a live coming up later today, right? If you're still here, brother. Yeah, so for those that's on this live, if y'all got time today, please check out Jay's channel. I know most of the people here are followers, but if you on this live and you're not a follower, please follow his channel. Check out, he has a live later on today, and we're gonna get on there and we're gonna bug out and I'm gonna harass him on his channel. There y'all go. It's gonna be fire. So make sure if y'all get a chance, if y'all ain't doing nothing, please. What time, Jay? I think Jay, what time was it? Because I don't have it with me in front of me, but I know I seen it. What time, Jay, so we can have it in the chat? So before I get off, everybody know. Okay, there y'all go. At 1, if you're on the East Coast, is at 3. And how you doing? Oh, okay. And not Jay's, but A World Away From Here. Hers is at 3. Well, most of us on the East Coast is at 3. The premiere, her premiere is at 1. I guess you're on the West Coast or whatever. But I think Jay, I forget what time yours is, Jay, but I think Jay is probably around the same time. Okay, 2:30. Jay is at 2:30. But make sure y'all support both of them. I didn't see A World Away From Here premiere. I'm gonna have to go back and look at it, hit the notify me button on that one. But I will. All right, so Jay will be live in A World Away From Here. Her premiere is at 3. So I guess I'll be doing like I always do. Like when she's on, I'll put World Away From Here and I'll put that on one item that I have, because I got more different tablets and stuff that I use. And then I can listen to Jay and listen to the music at the same time. So y'all know, if y'all got more than one things, if y'all have more than one thing, just tune into both if you can. Because all of us, every last one of us who got channels and stuff, the watch hours matter. And I see that on World Away From Here, our channel is growing. I noticed that too, that it's growing. So God bless everybody, man. Just, come on, I appreciate y'all, family. Really do. Wish y'all could have took y'all on a vacation with me. But that's all right. I'm gonna come down there and teach Jay. I mean, when I get down to South Carolina, I'm gonna teach Jay how to fish. But with that said, I'm gonna get up out of here. Every last one of y'all, do me a favor. No, man, really. Do me a favor. Y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. And I'm out of here. Peace. That's what's up. Y'all have a good day. I holla.